Is it just me, or do you get the idea of just trying to break Minecraft in the most absurd, the most crazy way possible? Well, guess what? I have done exactly that. I have gone out of my way to create a resource pack that breaks Minecraft in the most absurd way possible. You might have noticed that we had this lovely little house with oak stripped wood. We had an oak door. It's now half command blocks, half ice. Our oak door in the inventory is mushrooms too. The stripped oak log is jungle wood with a redstone torch on the top. This is absolutely crazy. Now, I haven't only created one resource pack, but 10 resource packs, which you could go down below in the description and download and try out for yourself. The aim of the resource pack is to make Minecraft as broken as it possibly could be, but still keep it playable. So like these blocks aren't like these blocks aren't the actual block. Like this isn't netherite. You don't have to mine this with a pickaxe. This is actually grass. If we go into survival mode, we can just break it with your fist. This is also grass. No, this is a dandelion. The piston face is a dandelion. The fletching table is some oak logs. The leaves are the face of oak logs, and they look green. The birch trees have honey for blocks, and they also look green. The breaking animation is also broken. Basically, the whole game is ruined. This was all made possible with a code which I have created myself, and alongside the 10 resource packs which I have generated using this code and put a link down below in the description for you guys to download, there's going to be another link for a download to the generator itself. So you can download my generator, which I use to generate these resource packs, and generate new and unique resource packs for yourself. The way to do it is by basically clicking the link, and you're gonna be able to download a zip file through mediafire.com. Once you have gotten the zip file downloaded, you want to extract it into a folder of its own, and then you're gonna look for a file called rrpgm 3.0 .py, which is .python, which is what I used to create this generator. And if you're familiar with Python, the next step is gonna be really simple for you. Well, all you have to do is run the code. But if you're not familiar with Python and have no clue how you could run the code, then just Google it. You could find many videos on YouTube on how to run a Python code, which sort of a text editor you would use, or a code editor, or whatever. Just sort yourself out if you want to use it. All you have to do is literally just run the code. You don't have to do any sort of typing, and then wait for a bit. The code takes about 5 minutes to generate a resource pack, and once you're done, you're gonna go to the same folder where you extracted the zip file which you downloaded, and then there's gonna be another zip file which is going to be the resource pack which you want to put in your resource packs folder to get the resource pack up and running. So how about we now explore for a bit and start building some stuff and just explore the resource pack for which we have created for a bit. We have this little house which I created before the video started, and this was a nice little path as well. This is some coarse dirt. I have no idea which texture this is as well. I have no idea where these textures come from, but they are from the in-game files. I didn't add any sort of textures from myself. All that happens, all the randomness that happens because of the codes. For example, the grass right here is the top of the top of the shulker boxes all the way through, but actually it's all the way through because I have my Optifine settings on. So if I change better grass to off, as you can see, half of the the side of the grass block is grass with like the target block, and the top is the top of an orange shulker box. And the reason it gets this tint of orange instead of the actual like the shade of orange which is used in the orange shulker box is because of the color map. The color map of foliage or for grass affects the color of the actual item. So since this is orange, due to the color map, since it's grass, it's gonna add a tint of green to it, so it gives us this little color. And if we go to different biomes, we're gonna start noticing that the color changes a bit. So here you're gonna notice that the color is a bit darker, because in the taiga forest the foliage has a bit of a darker tint than what it usually has. It kind of matches the color of the leaves. Speaking of the leaves, This is a weird texture, which has the grass texture all throughout the block, which is quite interesting. The stone is quite weird. I know where this texture came from. So basically, this kind of thing where it looks like it's like the kind of broken, a kind of a broken texture. This happens because of animated block. So this is an animated block, and I'm pretty sure this is the fire animation, which has been put on top of the stone texture to give us this little texture, because well, the animation doesn't work on stone, it only works for the fire block because of the block model of it. And here we have some granite. It also has one of those like multiple textures. This is the kelp texture. It's quite obvious. If you look quite closely, you're gonna notice that this is kind of like the kelp texture. So this is the animated kelp texture. This is, as you've seen, the gravel. The netherrack is diorite. Okay, that's interesting. And then we have the ores, bushes. The sweet berry bushes are iron ore. And we have even more ore here. We have the glazed terracotta. The brown glazed terracotta is gold. And this is, what liquid is this? There's no way to middle click like fluid. So let's just search bucket in our inventory. And something I forgot to mention, that this resource pack doesn't only affect blocks, but it also affects item textures. So you have here, we have the decoration blocks. The oak sapling is the top of a thing. The oak sapling is the top of a dark oak door. The bamboo is the chest piece texture, for the armor, and even the armor slots change. So you have ruby here. The secret hidden ruby texture is is the pants kind of armor slot. Your elytra is a diamond chest plate, but of course entities haven't been changed. You might have noticed a couple of mobs around. The elytra hasn't changed, and that is because working with those is quite complicated. So I decided against um, working with entities and block entities, such as the armor stand, for example. If I could find it, where is the armor stand? Here it is. It is the white music disc. And as you can see, I didn't change the entities or the block entities, such as the chests and the ender chest, because well, yeah, those are quite complicated to deal with. Anyways, let's go back to what we were checking out, and that was the fluid. So this is a normal bucket. The head slot is the water bucket. The lava bucket is a beetroot. This is the milk bucket. We can't place that down. So the water bucket is the black stuff, and the lava bucket, the solid block apparently has the coral texture, the yellow coral texture, and the flowing lava has the whatever this texture this is. And I also have no clue what this texture is, and there's also seems to be problems with the rendering of the texture. That is quite interesting. I have now teleported my way into a village, and this seems to be a desert village. Yep, this is sand all over the ground, and these are the structures of the thingy houses, the desert villager houses. And then we have the crops as well. The crops have even gotten their texture change, even the stages. So this is a different stage of the wheat growing, or the beetroot growing, and this is a different stage of the wheat growing. This is also wheat. Yep, this is also wheat. And what is this? This is cut sandstone, is now honey, and the top is like a very, very orange texture, right? Is this concrete? No way, this is the concrete texture for like the normal orange concrete. Look at the doors as well. Even the doors textures have changed. The top is different and the bottom is different, and the item textures as well. The jungle door is a clock. Flower pots in this very resource package actually quite interesting looking. I actually quite like this. So it has like a wooden texture instead of a clay texture. I actually like this. There are some cool things which you can do in resource packs like this. Like, you didn't necessarily break your game. You kind of made it better in some way, because you can get blocks like this. Look at this. Those are sandstone walls, and they look. I'm pretty sure they have the light gray concrete texture. So you have light gray concrete walls. So there are even more building options amongst all this craziness. Anyways, that's all the time I have for today's video. If you did enjoy it, be sure to leave a like, also consider subscribing, as that will be greatly appreciated. Don't forget to check down below in the description where you will find a link to this very resource pack which I'm using, and links to 9 different resource packs which I have generated myself for you guys to use, and also a link to the generator which I used to create these resource packs. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Farewell, lads.